So I think last time we have stuck at one place, right? So I was just trying to open this URL, accounts.azure-databricks.net, right? So it was not allowing me to log in, right? So because I was using actually, I created the account with this user. Okay, so Siva underscore B8 at the rate outlook.com. That is the user actually I was using. But actually, this is a, I can say, uh, this is not that user is not allowed actually to log in into that accounts one, because this is like Databricks people are saying that whatever the external user you'll get, right, use that user. Okay, so what do you mean by that is when you create an account, actually you'll get two users here. Okay, let me show you that. uh, I'm opening this one. Okay, so if you search here users, you can see here users actually. And after that, I'm just trying to so all users. It was trying to show the other user also, but somehow it is not showing. Okay, that's fine. So previously I used to have only Siva underscore at the rate outlook.com. That was the user. So for that user, we were not getting that access. So what did I use? This user also created here actually. This user is hash ext is there, right? This is the external user actually. We need to create an invitation. I mean, we need to send an invitation to this user so that I'm making this user as a admin for this account, for the Microsoft account, I can say. I'm trying to use that account here, and it started working properly. Okay, then how to create that meta store? So before that one, I think let me try to open the PPT here. One second. Unity catalog introduction. Yeah. Now tell me, what is the use of the Unity catalog actually? What are we going to achieve with this one? Why we have to use the Unity catalog first of all? So we are already halfway to the discussion of that Unity catalog, and you're asking that question now. Huh. So the point is actually we are going to get centralized metadata layer. I'll tell you what exactly I mean by the centralized metadata layer. And standard SQL based security model. That means you can execute the permission queries with SQL commands. That also I'm going to show you. And built-in auditing captures the user level audit logs actually. This one also I'll try to show you. So these are the main benefits you're going to get with the help with the Unity catalog setup, guys. Okay. So before the Unity catalog, how people used to manage, that's what I wanted to explain first. Okay. So we used to have, without Unity catalog, we used to have actually, let's say in an organization, multiple projects are there, multiple teams are there. Every team is actually trying to create a Databricks workspace like this. Workspace 1, workspace 2, workspace 3, and so on like that. Multiple workspaces are there. Multiple projects are multiple teams. Every team is using actually their own Databricks workspace. Okay. Once you create the Databricks workspace, you'll get actually, I mean, you'll get your own workspace and you'll get your own database, you'll get your own schemas and tables also you can create with respect to your project on everything you're going to create with respect to your project. Okay, same here. Let's say this is the HR department. HR department has their own project actually, and they're trying to implement everything here. And let's say finance project is also there. Like we have, they have their own controls in their workspace. Okay, let's say procurement department is there, and they have their own workspace and they have their own controls actually. Now, if HR department wanted to interact or if they wanted to access the tables from the finance department, or the finance department actually trying to access the tables from the HR department, then it is very difficult, because the workspaces are isolated right here. Isolated in the sense each workspace is independent to each other. You cannot share the data from one workspace to another workspace. Okay. So that was the problem actually before the Unity catalog. Now, after the Unity catalog introduction, then what happened, you'll get one centralized Unity catalog layer here. Okay. So there only, okay, you can create any number of Databricks workspaces here. Okay. Workspace 1, workspace 2, workspace 3, and so on. Any number of projects, any number of teams can create their own Databricks workspaces. But everyone can share the data with other teams easily. Why? Because all these workspaces metadata is actually stored at one centralized place. That's what we call it as a Unity catalog. Metadata in the sense the the tables, views, functions, everything, controls, everything is managed at one place only. At one place only. Okay, so that is an advantage with the Unity catalog. That is what they are saying here in the first slide, centralized metadata layer. Okay, and one more thing that I wanted to tell you here is, okay, let's say we have team one, actually, they are using the workspace one. Okay, and they have set up some access controls and they wanted to set up something in here. So let's say same effort, same thing they wanted to do in the workspace two also. See, if the same thing they wanted to do, like it's a duplicate work or not? I mean, they're doing some management related activities, guys. Same thing they have to do across the different workspaces. So since it is a duplicate work actually and redundant work actually, they and that too they were not able to share the data across the teams. That was the difficulty they were facing. Now they are trying to achieve that one with the help of this architecture. Now you can create any number of Databricks workspaces, and all the workspaces maintain one common Unity catalog centralized layer where we can have all the access control, user management, and the meta store and everything managed at one place. And every workspace have their own SQL endpoints. Now from here to here, we can share the data. From here to here, we can share the data. So we have catalog sharing concept is there actually. With the help of that catalog share, we can share the data between the teams or among the teams. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Now, so now we need to set up actually this metadata layer. So that is what I'm trying to do here. That is what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Now, what I'll do is, see, ultimately metadata or data, it is nothing but we have to store that one in some storage account, right? In our case, it is ADLS Gen 2. So for that, we need to set up this one. So we have an option called create metastore option. See, only admin can do this activity, guys, not the developers. In your real time, you will not have access to this particular URL. You cannot do this one because creating a metastore is an admin activity. But since it is a free trial account, you guys can do that one. In the free trial account, they've already done in the back end actually. You're not able to do that one in the free trial. They've already done it for you. So what I will do is, in order to store this data, in order to store this metadata at some place, what I will do is, I'll just try to create actually one storage account here. That storage account I've already taken here. This is the storage account I've already created. Okay. In this storage, okay, I think I have two storage accounts, right? 1 second. 1 second, guys. Home. And see here, I have BDT storage account Central India 002, Central India 001. What I will do is, this one, I'll use it for storing my metadata, purely for storing the metadata. This one, I will try to use it for some other purpose. I'll tell you the purpose of this one. This is only for purely storing for the metadata. One storage account. You can store everything here also, but I wanted to just distinguish between the metadata and the actual data. Actual table data is stored here. The metadata is stored here. Okay. So in this storage account, what I'm trying to do is, let me go to the containers here. I'm creating a container called UC Metastore. Okay. That I'm going to give here. Okay. Here, the name you can give anything, workspace name you can, Metastore name you can give anything. Okay. And region, where do you want to store the data? That location we need to select here. Okay, Central India or like East US or East US2, where do you want to store that data? Now, where do you want to store that metadata? The container name we need to give here. In our case, this is UC-metastore at the rate storage account name. Storage account name is nothing but BDT SCA-CA001. Okay, dfs.core.windows.net/ This is what we need to give. And the access connector ID, you remember like last time we created one service called access connector, Databricks access connector. That connector ID we need to give. See, you can, Databricks only can talk to the storage account via this particular service. Remember that. So Databricks can talk to storage account only via that service. The one we have created last time. This is the one I'm talking here. Let me show you. Where is this one? Just a second. I'm clicking on home and BDTRG. This is my resource group actually. And here, this is the one I'm talking. BDTSA, ADB, DSE is there, right? Databricks Access Connector. So through this one only, it will talk. Getting my point? Okay. Now let me go here. So I've already done this setup actually. Let me show you that setup here. So if I click on this one, this is the path I've given here, ADLS Gen2 path, UC Metastore. This is my storage account, dfs.core.net/. That's what I've given. That's it. Only slash, up to slash. Okay. This is automatically you'll get it. Okay. You don't need to do anything here. So I'm the Metastore admin. I'm the admin of the whole Databricks, right? That is the reason why it is showing my name here. So workspaces, currently I've attached this workspace, BDT workspace. BDT workspace is nothing but this one I'm talking here. This is the workspace that I'm talking here. This is the one. If you go to workspaces here, so this is the workspace I'm talking here. Second. So with that, this is the workspace I'm talking here. Okay, this is the one. Central India. It is actually deployed in Central India location. Okay. Now, if I go here and anything else that you wanted to understand here, so we just need to assign the workspace here. Already attached it, I guess. Already attached this one. I'm just checking here whether it is attached properly or not. No. So assign to workspace. It is already attached. The Metastore, whatever I created, right? I'm just attaching it to this particular workspace. Workspace is nothing but your storage account. Sorry, your Azure account. Sorry, Databricks account, I can say. So one Databricks account, we call it as one workspace. If somebody created in the same tenant, actually in the same account, then that is called workspace 2. This is workspace 1. And if I create one more Databricks service, that will become the workspace 2. That also I can assign here. For both workspaces, the common metadata location is actually this one, UC Metastore, Unity Catalog Metastore. You can give your own naming convention. It's not mandatory to give like this. You can give your own naming convention. Okay. So this is fine, Siva. We are good with this one. Okay. Now, where do you want to store the data here? Where do you want to store the data? See, uh, for storing the metadata, I'm just trying using the 001 account. For storing the table data or database data, I was trying to create actually one more storage account called 002. In this account, I am trying to create actually multiple containers called bronze, raw, bronze, silver, gold. Four different containers. Currently, we don't have anything inside this one. Okay, don't worry about that one. The raw only I created one folder called source system one, and inside that one I just placed the employee CSV file. Okay, so apart from that, no other containers having any data. Okay, I just created the containers here. Now I'm going to use this container for storing my data. So how to do that one, Shiva? Okay, let me go here. Let me go here. Now what I will do is I have just created the catalog here. Catalog is nothing but database. Okay. Now how you can create that one is you just need to click on plus symbol here. Create catalog option is there here. So create catalog name we need to give. The catalog name I have given here. BDT ADB practice dev I have given intentionally I'm giving it dev here because I wanted to explain about the CACD concept also here. So that is the reason when you move it to the dev to QA, QA to prod, how we are going to do that one. That's what we need to understand here. Okay. So for that, I intentionally created here dev underscore dev. So type, I'm just taking the standard only. I'm not considering any other thing here. Okay. So let's go with the standard only here. Let me click on one more time. Yeah. So, and don't select any storage location here. I'll tell you why we have to do that. Okay. And just, okay. And you just need to click on create. That's it. So I did in the same way here. The moment you create a catalog or a database, you'll get two schemas. One is the default schema and second one is the information schema. Okay. Now, I don't want to store any data in the default. We don't use anyway this database. This you guys know already, like whatever the metadata you store, right? That you can query with the help of these views. These are all views. You cannot create any custom table in this particular schema. Similar to your Snowflake one. Okay. Now I wanted to create my custom schema here. Okay. Generally, what do we do, here? We create three different types of schemas. In any project, you take any project. So first one is bronze schema. Second one is I can say silver schema. Third one is gold schema. I'll tell you what do we do with that schemas. I'll tell you that one. Okay, first let me go ahead and create that. Okay, so I'll tell you one more PPT here. Let me open that PPT. Just a second. Where is this Delta Lake? Delta Lake, Delta Lake. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to build here actually. Okay. So in a Delta Lake, in a data lake, that means it's a storage account, right? In a storage account, we'll get actually data in a raw format, in a CSV or JSON or XML or Parquet, any format actually. Okay. Now raw data, we are going to load it into bronze layer. Okay. As is, which is a source of truth, I can say. Okay, this bronze data, whatever I'm trying to load here, with some joins and transformations, I'll try to load it into a silver layer. Okay, silver layer. Okay, so after that, if at all, if you want to create any views or aggregations or as per the downstream requirements, if at all, if you want to create any views, right, then we are going to do that one in a gold layer. So bronze, silver, gold, these are the three different schemas. All three schemas stores the data in a delta format only, which we have discussed in the one of the session. Okay. So the underlying storage is actually ADLS Gen 2. Are you guys able to get this one? This is what we are going to follow in any project. So what do we call this one? Medallion architecture. This one we call it as a medallion architecture. The medallion architecture, you will be having actually bronze layer, silver layer, and gold layer. Okay, you will get the data from the sources either in a batch format or in a streaming format. I mean, continuous data you may get. Okay, that will try to load it in. I mean, we land the data into the landing layer or the raw layer. From there, with the help of Spark or Databricks notebooks, we'll try to load that data into bronze layer. Okay, from there again, with the help of Databricks notebooks, we load the data into silver layer. Once we load the silver layer, we do the modeling and everything here only. And based on the downstream requirement, you'll actually load that data into gold layer. And from there again, downstreams, if you want, you can share this data directly to the downstreams. Or if at all, if you have any visualization tools like Power BI, Tableau and all, they can connect directly to the gold layer. Or if at all, if you want to give this data to any machine learning data science people, then you can share that data as well. That is also fine. Ultimately, in any project, you take any project in the market, so they follow this architecture only. See, this is the traditional ETL architecture, right? Indirectly. Same thing, they're just trying to call it as a medallion architecture here. That's it. Clear?
Yes, sir.
In the bronze layer, the data we store in a delta format. Silver layer also we store the data in a delta format. In the gold also we store the data in a delta format only. Okay. In your project, you may have like additional layers also, depending on your requirement. In our project, we are just maintaining only 3 layers. Of course, we have one more extra is there. I mean, we store America data in one schema here and other countries' data in one schema. Okay, we create 2 different bronze schemas actually. I mean, that was my requirement. That was the architecture defined by the architect. Okay, so for this one, my bronze data, ultimately, I'm going to store it in this particular, what I can say, container. So all my silver data, I'm going to store here, gold data here in a this format, Delta Lake format. Okay, so how do I create that schema, Siva? Can you explain that one? Yes, that's what we are going to do now. So for that, what do we need to do is, I'm just opening this particular database. I'm just clicking on this one so that it opens the Catalog Explorer. That means you can manage with the help of UI here, everything related to that particular database. Okay. When you click on that one, it will open the Explorer. So this is the database actually, and these are all the schemas inside that database. If you want to know about that database, actually, you can easily come to know that information here. Browse only, catalog ID, created yesterday. Okay, last night I created this one, created by me, and this one is managed catalog. I'll tell you what is managed catalog and external catalog. So updated by me. Okay, and permissions currently, I mean, browse access we have to all the users. So workspaces, all workspaces have access to this particular database. Okay, all workspace users, I can say. Okay, now I'm going here. You have 2 options right here. So if you click on this one, you can rename this particular database or manage access request destinations. If at all, if you want to control some access, you can do that one. Assign certification. I don't know what exactly mean by this one. Delete is for deleting this one. I'll explore this one and let you know what is this assign certification and all. Okay. And share option is nothing but we can do delta sharing actually. Okay. So that also I'm going to discuss maybe in the following sessions, not now. Similar to your Snowflake data sharing, right? Same way here also we have delta sharing. Okay. So we have one more option called create schema here. Just click on that one. Now this is the schema I'm going to create. So here the schema name I just call it as a BDT underscore bronze. In any project, mostly we follow this naming convention. Organization name followed by that schema uh, uh, name. My schema name is actually bronze. In some projects, actually, they'll create only bronze. That's it. I mean, that depends on again the requirement and the architect, how he has defined that layer names. Bronze schema, silver schema, gold schema. That's it. Some projects they maintain organization name or like project name followed by that layer schema name. Okay. Now I can directly click on create here. Okay, let me click on create here and see what is happening here. We'll anyway drop that one, don't worry. Okay, I just created. I did not select anything. See, our intention is to store the schema data in the 002 storage account in the branch container. But did I mention that information anywhere here? Did I mention that one?
No.
No, I did not mention, right? So how do I mention that one? Okay. See, Siva, you did not mention that one. That is okay. But where it is going to store the data, first of all, tell me when you create a table and start inserting the data into that. Okay. So for that, you need to click on details. See here, overview. Sorry. Uh, it should show here. Okay. Let me create a table here. Let me create a table. Okay. After that, I'll try to show you where exactly it is storing. Okay. Let me try to create the table like this. Okay. Since it is a managed table, uh, so it is connected to serverless compute power. Okay. So I'm using that one only for now. I'll tell you what exactly mean by serverless and the normal compute. For now, you try to use the server one. Okay, serverless only. Okay, because this is becoming a popular nowadays because this is completely maintained by the Databricks people. Okay, other compute whatever you're going to create that will be managed by Azure people actually. That is the reason why this has become very popular nowadays. Okay, there are some other advantages also there. I'll talk about that one later. For now, you just try to understand the table is actually created in this particular schema. If I go here and refresh this one, you will definitely able to see the table. This is the table actually. If I click on that one, I can see the table details definitely here. It should show here. Let's see. If it is not able to create, we'll see the alternative approach. I just clicked on the table. That's it. I did not do anything. Why it is taking time? 1 second. Let me refresh this page. That's it. I don't do anything here. I am just refreshing this. Yeah, this is the one. Now, if I go to the details here, where is it storing the data? Yeah, see, the storage location is actually Metastore. Metastore. Generally, we don't do this in real time. Generally, see where it is storing the data actually. You see Metastore, right? But this is my metadata location, right? I don't want to store my table data also in that location, and I don't want to mess up this. I can say container. I wanted to create my tables in a different location. That is what I'm going to do now. Okay, are you guys able to get it? See, by default, when you create a schema, when you create a table, it is selecting the metastore location as a for the data storing purpose. This is the default location. Okay, inside that one, it is going to create one folder called this one. This is the schema unique identifier actually. And inside that one, it is going to create one folder called tables. For each table, it will assign some unique number. Inside that folder, it is going to create the delta log folder and the Parquet files. And the type is also managed, you see here. Manage tables. These are all managed tables. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly mean by the managed tables and the external tables. Okay, so I don't want to store the metadata here. I wanted to store it in a separate place. So for that, what I need to do is I have to drop this particular table. I'm deleting this table. Drop command also you can write it, no problem. And I'm dropping this schema as well. Okay, so delete this, delete or drop, both are same only here. Delete the schema or drop the schema. You can write that SQL command also, drop schema name. That is also fine. Okay, so currently I don't have any schema. I wanted to create one schema called BDT underscore bronze again, but with the external location, but the different location. So for that, so what I'll do is I'll just click on create schema. My schema name is BDT underscore bronze. Okay, and here you see the storage location. We have to select here. Okay, what happened? Okay, BDT underscore bronze. So we have to create a external location for that one. So for that, what I am trying to do is, the moment I click on external location, hey, where do you want to store the schema data? That's what it is asking. This is the external location apart from UC Metastore. Wherever you are storing the data, that we call it as an external location. Okay, but the location is actually in the ADLS Gen2 only. Okay, but we need to specify that path actually. So for that, I've already created actually one BDT bronze external location. Or if you want me to create that one, again, I can create that one. We just need to give that name here. And where do you want to store the data? That we have to mention here. Okay, container name is actually your bronze at the rate BDT SACA002 is there. dfs.core. Windows dfs.core.windows.net slash. And a storage credential automatically will get populated here. We need to select that one. That's it. That is the user and managed identity. Okay. So this is what we need to create. I've already created that one. I'll just try to make use of the same thing. Okay. So for that, I'm just trying to select here bronze external location. So this is what I created actually. So bronze external location is nothing but bronze is my actually container name. That container is actually located in this particular storage account slash. So going forward, my bronze data will be stored in this particular container. Okay, I'm just clicking on. If at all, if you want to store it in some subfolder, right, you can go ahead and mention that one. So for now, I wanted to dedicatedly give one container to the bronze schema. So I'm not using anything here. Okay, I'm just clicking on create here. That's it. Now it got created. Now, if I click on this one, if you go to details, see, going forward, it is going to store the data here. So, the moment you create the bronze schema, backend, what is happening, you try to understand here. So, in the bronze folder, uh, currently nothing is there, right? Okay. So going forward, it is going to store the data in this particular location. Okay. These folders are not yet created. Once you start creating the table, it will start creating them. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll just try to create some dummy table, that is employee table. Okay. So same like your Snowflake guys, you can execute your commands in the either in the notebook or SQL editor is also there. You can execute your commands here also. Okay, so I wanted to execute my commands, SQL and the PySpark commands in a mixed mode. That is the reason why I'm trying to use actually Notebook as my execution platform. Okay, so for that, what I need to do is, if at all, if you're executing SQL commands, you need to put a %LSQL here. This %LSQL, we call it as a magic command. Okay, so what magic it is doing actually? Okay, I told you already when you create a notebook, by default, the language it selects as Python. If at all, if you want to execute your command in SQL mode here, you need to put that one. And in the next cell, if at all, if you want to execute in a Python, PySpark command, you can execute that. That means in a notebook, you can write your SQL commands, even PySpark commands, and do whatever you want in a notebook. In a PySpark or Scala Spark or like R Spark, whatever the language you want, you can use. But in one cell, you can use only one language. So there are other by default, the cell is actually execute the PySpark command by default. Okay, see here, if you see, if I create a new cell here, let's say in the end, if I try to create a new cell, by default Python is selected or not. That means PySpark commands by default it will execute. If at all, if you want to execute the SQL commands, %SQL, then only it will execute. Otherwise, it will throw error. Okay, now use database name dot schema name, just like your Snowflake only, or regular database only. Now I'm trying to create or fully qualified name also you can use here, no problem. Fully qualified name also you can use, no problem at all. Anything is okay. Okay, now let me go ahead and create the table here and see what is happening. See, using delta is not mandatory. Intentionally, I'm trying to show this one here because if you create a table in Databricks, okay, by default, it creates the delta format only. Okay, okay. Now, table got created. Let me go ahead and check in the backend what is happening. Let me refresh this folder. See, underscore Unity storage folder got created here. And inside that one, schemas folder got created. Inside that schemas, actually, I mean, you can create multiple schemas in the same location. Right? That is the reason why they're just trying to differentiate that. And inside that one, for the schema, bronze schema, they have given some unique ID or unique value. Okay, let me click on that one. Inside that one, tables. For tables, they created one folder. I mean, it got created automatically. I did not do anything. That for each table, actually, they will assign one unique number. Okay, that unique number for my employee table, the unique number is this one. Okay, so inside this one, we have a folder called delta log. Did I insert any data into this table or it's an empty table? It's an empty table or did I insert any data into this? It's an empty, right? That is the reason why I don't see any Parquet files here. I see only underscore delta log folder. What it does actually? What it does? What it contains actually? All the transactional data .crc and .json files it maintains or not? Correct or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is what it is trying to do. Now, once you start inserting the data, it keeps adding that Parquet files here. Let's see that one. Let's see that. What is happening. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is, so I'm trying to place my file actually. I'm trying to place my file actually in this location, guys. Raw location. Yeah. My source system name is source system one I'm taking here. I mean, in your project, like let's say if your source system name is, let's say, ABC, you will give ABC here. Okay. If your source system name is XYZ, you'll maintain that XYZ here. So for now, I'm just trying to maintain as generic name that is source system one. Okay. If you have another source system two will maintain. Okay. So let me click on that one. I have this file. I wanted to load this data into my employee table. That's my requirement. Now, how do we access this particular path or how do we access this particular location, right? Okay. In general, what do we do is we do like this. ABFSS. See, if it is S3 location, S3 colon slash slash, right? If it is, if your data is actually resides in your ADLS Gen 2, we need to use ABFSS. Okay, then your Databricks understands that, okay, my data is there actually Azure Databricks file system. Okay, the full form of this one, let me check here. I forgot that. ABSS full form in Databricks. Okay. Azure Blob file system. Secure. Yes, correct. Azure Blob file system. Okay. Um, so this is what we need to prefix actually here. Where is that? This is the one. Okay. ABFS is colon slash slash. If your data is actually resides in RA, that one that container name we need to mention at the rate. This container is located in this 002 location .tfs.core.windows. Inside that one, I have a subfolder called source system one. Inside that one, if you have some other subfolder slash that some other subfolder, inside that one actually, you can see that file. Okay, I'm just trying to do ls command here. These are all actually DB utility commands, guys. I'll talk about these DB utility commands tomorrow. Okay, so let me, for now, you just try to understand ls is nothing but it is going to list all the files in this particular location. Now let me execute this one. Percentile fs is also a magic command, guys. I'll talk about that one tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay, see here. In this location, I have a file called emp.csv, which has 840 bytes, and it got modified at this particular timestamp. Clear up to this? Now you understood how to access the files in the storage account. See, in the trial account, we used to access that one with the help of volumes. Now I'm going to do that one as well. Don't worry. I'm going to create volumes now. Now, how to create volumes? See, every time, you cannot mention this abfss colon slash slash ra at the rate. This full name we cannot give, right? Okay, so instead of mentioning this name, what I will do is I'll just try to use some logical name on top of this one. That's what I call it as a volume. Okay. Now, so where do we create that volume? How to create that one? That is what I'm going to discuss now. Okay. So for that, uh, volumes are actually are part of the schema. Okay, they are the objects of the schema. So currently, I can create that volume here itself, or I can create one more schema and I can create the volume there also. Okay, so for now, I'll just try to create the volume here only. I'm just clicking on BDT bronze here. Okay, now I got, I see here create option, volume, table, model, metric view. Different options you're getting right here. So let me go ahead and select actually volume here. Okay, the volume name I'm trying to take here is bronze underscore files. This is what I'm trying underscore, right? Sorry, bronze underscore files or raw files. Sorry, not bronze files. Raw underscore files. Okay, external volume. Where are your files are located? Actually, that's what you need to mention. So currently, I did not. Okay, I think I already created that raw external location. Now let me go ahead and see here. Raw is actually located in this storage account slash I've given here. So I mean, on top of this raw container, I'm just creating a external. Um, um, I'm just creating a volume here. That's it. So going forward, instead of like pointing this entire path every time, I'll simply use raw files. That's it. Okay. Now let me click on create here. External location, you know how to create, right? I've shown you, right? So with that, that way we have to create it and we have to create a volume here. See, volume C under a schema, we got volumes also. What is that volume name? Raw files. Okay. Going forward, instead of mentioning that abfss colon slash raw at the rate and all, right? Directly I can mention this path. Okay. Now let me go here. Where is that path is there? That okay. So see, instead of either you can mention like this, okay, or you can mention like this as well. Okay. File path equal to file underscore path equal to within single quotes. I'm just mentioning. Okay. See, raw files is pointing up to this one only. Now, after that, we have actually file inside this folder, right? Now we need to mention this file as is like this. Like this. That's it. See, instead of writing this part every time, I'm just creating a volume. See, this is just a logical name on top of this one. That's it. Do you guys get it? Do you guys get it here? Or you're not able to understand anything here?
We are good, Shiva.
You're good, right?
Shiva, above shell, you have mentioned percentage FS. What it mean?
That is also data. FS is nothing but file system. Okay. I'll talk about that one tomorrow. Okay. That is also one of the DB utility command actually.
Okay.
Okay. I'll talk about that one as well. Anything else? Hmm. Okay. Directly you can mention the file path here as well. You know how to read the data from the CSV file, right? Okay, spark dot read dot format of CSV option infer schema true, header true, separator comma, load file path. You know this one, right? Now, I'm just trying to read the data file here. See, in the free trial account, the problem is actually if I try to log in, I can able to create that. See, volumes I can able to create the directly here. See, last time what did we do? If I expand this test DB, if I expand this test schema, okay, if I expand the source volume and target volume, see backend, if I click on this, open in Catalog Explorer, hmm, files, and the details, if I go, see backend, they're trying to store some location actually. See, we don't know where is this path located. See, since this is a free trial account, they could have tied up with the Azure or AWS people or GCP people. Okay, let's consider they tied up with the this one what do we call AWS people. So they are trying to store indirectly our volumes actually in this location only, right? See, if you in the free trial account, you will not come to know all these concepts actually. That is the reason why intentionally I created this free trial account and I'm trying to show you all these things. Did you get my point here?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. See, going forward, I told you we are going to use the display command only. Display command will give you output in a proper table format. Okay. Or you can use df.show also, no problem at that. Nobody is going to stop you. But mostly we avoid writing that show command. We use the display only. Because if at all, if you want to copy this column name and all right, it's easy actually. If you want to sort the data, you can sort it easily. Or if at all, if you want to copy this data directly, you can copy it from here, including headers. Do whatever you want. If you want to export the data, you can export here, download to a CSV, download to Excel, download to your clipboard, or add notebook dashboard. Something you can do whatever you want here. See, sometimes what happen, business users, they ask the data dump. At that time, we just query the data from this table and we just need to download this in a CSV format and share it with them. Okay, this data, I wanted to load it into my table. That's my requirement. See, in SQL, how do you do that one? We'll write insert commands, right? But in PySpark, how do we do that one? So we read the data, store it in a data frame, and that data frame data, you simply append it to the table. Okay, if you want to if you want to store this data, if you want to write this data in a Parquet format, what do we do? What did we do actually? What did we do? So df dot write dot mode of f1 dot parquet of that parquet path we used to give, right? But if at all, if you want to load the data to the table, I told you already, save as table we need to use. This is the API you have to use. This is the method you need to use. Save as table. You're writing this data to this table. That's it. Don't use overwrite here. Overwrite will truncate the table every time. So always use the append so that it keeps appending the data to the table. Appending means keep inserting the data. So I have, or we can do other way also, guys. We can write the insert command also, no problem. I'll talk about that one as well. Don't worry. Okay. So for now, I'm just trying to write the data to my table. I'm just executing this command and see what is happening here. See, this is the print schema command I've written. That is the reason it is printing this one. Now the data is actually writing to the this one. See, in real time also we do the same command, guys. But we don't write at each table level, file level. We write the framework actually, and with the help of framework we do that one. So maybe day after tomorrow onwards, you guys have to build the framework. I'll guide you guys actually how to build that. You guys have to build that in a free trial account, not in the this account. No worries, no worries about that. I'll guide you how to do that one. I'll monitor on top of every day. I'll try to monitor and give you suggestions. Okay. No. So this is one thing. See, the data got loaded to my table. So how do we know that one, Shiva, whether the data is loaded into table or not? How do we know that one? We can do select star from table, right? That's what we do, right? In the SQL query, you can write it select star from table, or you can do spark.read.table also. That is also fine. So select star from, okay, your table. I'm already pointing the database to this one and the schema to this one. So directly I can write the EMP here and execute this one and the start the warehouse and attach it and execute this one. So this is the SQL warehouse we use, guys. SQL warehouse. Okay, I'll tell you. This is also a serverless warehouse actually. See, it is automatically started. I mean, it started immediately and it started giving the results to us. Okay. If at all, if you want to terminate this one, you can terminate. See, if you want to save the credits, right? As soon as you use that one, better terminate that. Okay, so let me configure in the configuration. Do we see anything 5 minutes or 10 minutes? We can timeout, we can set it or not. Let me check. Yeah, auto stop by default anyway, 10 minutes is there. That's okay. If I don't do any activity, automatically it will be suspended backend. That's okay. See, this is the data got inserted to my table. And you can query the data in other way also. I'll show you how to do that one. So once you inserted the data, you can do like this also. Let me open the new cell here. Percentile SQL, SQL, select star from EMP also you can do. Or if at all, if you want to read in a data frame format, right? So, okay, EMP underscore DF equal to spark dot read dot table of, that's it. Okay, which table you wanted to read, that you need to mention here. So I'm just copying everything from here, copy and paste it. That's it. Or spark dot table of also we can use. Underscore we need to use here. That's why it is throwing error. Okay, once you do that one, display of, so let me execute this. This is also other way to read the table. This is a Spark way. I mean, Spark way we can read the data. In SQL way, we can read the data select star percentile SQL select star from EMP. So in real time, we use mix case actually. Sometimes we use this one, sometimes we use this one. Depends. That is the reason why I told you already in last session. We use PySpark and as well as SQL, both the approaches. Okay. Scala Spark, depending on the project guys. But mostly, I mean, if it is a pure PySpark project, actually, we use mostly these two only. It supports the SQL also, right? This is what SQL means. You can do like this also. Select star from EMP. So I wanted to save my credentials, sorry, credits actually. So for that, I'm just trying to terminate this. Otherwise, it will keep consuming the credits. Okay, I'll use this one only. I don't want to run both the serverless computes. Got the point here. How did I read? How did I load the data? Okay. Now, Shiva, you loaded the data, but show me in the back end what is happening. Let me go here. Okay. This is the one, right? Okay. So previously we have only delta underscore log folder, right? Now let me refresh this one. See, I see the Parquet file as well. What is this actually? What is this? This is the actual data file, right? And inside the delta log, what is there? One more CRC and JSON file got created, right? This is what we understood in the other class, right? As you keep inserting the data, it keeps adding this CRC and JSON files, and it keeps adding the Parquet files. And when I do select star from table, it actually reads the data from this Parquet file only. Getting my point?
Yes, sure. I think last modified, these columns are not present on
In the free trial, which one you're saying?
this second column, last modified, and the access tier and blob type size.
Oh, this one you're talking.
Yes, yes.
These are generic properties of this folder, actually. That's it. Blob type is blob. Uh, blob is nothing but a small file. I mean, blob is nothing. See, a file is nothing but a blob in Azure terminology. Blob, BLOB. Okay. A file, we call it as it can be a CSV, it can be Parquet, it can be any file. File, we call it as a blob, BLOB. Okay. And its size is 2.65 kilobits, and lease is available. If at all, if you want to download this one, right, you need to click on three dots here. Okay, now you can view the file, you can rename the file, you can clone the file, you can copy the fully qualified path of this file, do whatever you want on top of this one. So let's see if you click on view or edit, or if you can click on this one, you can see the data of this particular file. If it is a CSV, we can see this one. And bigger files, it doesn't show the data. Only small files, less than 10 MB data only, it will try to show. Since my file size is only in KBs, I'm able to see the data here. Okay. So this is the Parquet file it has created in the backend. See, that is the reason why I was telling you Parquet file concept is more important. You need to understand the internals of the Parquet, because this is actually placing a crucial role in the entire Unity catalog. Now I can see, ultimately, I'm using this as a data warehouse, right? See, I'm storing the data. I'm able to query it. I can create multiple tables. I can join them, do modeling, do whatever you want here. You can The data is actually storing in the form of files only, right? Here, files only, right? So since the storage cost is cheap here, you can store unlimited data here. Nobody will stop you. Okay, you just need to pay rent for this data. That's it. Okay, they'll charge from you based on per TB basis actually. 1 TB, $20 or $40 or $50. I mean, depending on the plan that you have with the Microsoft Azure, they will charge. Is that clear? Okay, so this is about creating a database, creating schema, and storing the data separately in a separate container, and loading the data into the table, and how it behaves in the backend. Okay, that is what we understood today. Okay, so let me stop it here, and we'll continue the rest of the things tomorrow. Any questions, guys?
శివ పార్కే ఫైల్ లాస్ట్ క్రియేట్ అయింది, అది ఎంపీ టేబుల్లో లోడ్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇన్సర్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత
Yeah. Now also it has created the table after loading the data into the employee table only, right? Now what is your question? I didn't understand.
అది ఫైల్ పార్కే ఫైల్ ఇందాక చూపించారు కదా, దాంట్లో
Yeah.
కంటెంట్స్ లో డెల్టా లాగ్ అక్కడ. సో
Uh.
ఈ పార్కే ఫైల్ ఆఫ్టర్ లోడింగ్ ఇంటూ ఎంపీ టేబుల్
Correct. Correct. This will get created automatically.
దిస్ విల్
Hmm.
డెల్టా లాగ్ లో వాటర్ అది సిఆర్సి ఫైల్ JSON ఫైల్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి. అంటే
So
దాని
this JSON file contains actually the information about that Parquet file.
ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్
This is the Parquet file created, right?
ఫైల్.
So partitions, what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, everything. Number of records are 17. Null count for this column is 0. Null count for this column is 0. Null count, all the null counts it is capturing, and after that it is capturing the minimum values of each column and maximum values of each column. Whatever I discussed in this Snowflake, everything is, you can see practically here.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Got it, sure.
Mm. These are all just supported files only, guys. You don't need to worry about these things. Okay.